Hello, today we're exploring 14.1 scatter plots and association. An association is a description of how data sets are related bivariate data sets. An outlier is a value much greater or much less than the other in a data set. A cluster is a set of closely grouped data, like grapes. A scatter plot is a graph with points plotted to show a possible relationship between two bivariate sets of data. A trend is to extend in a general direction. Determining association. A positive association is where both data sets increase together. As X increases, Y increases. A negative association is a data set where one data set increases, the other decreases. As X increases, Y decreases. No association is where the changes in one variable have no predictable effect on the other variable. As X increases, Y increases and decreases. Interpreting clusters and outliers. A scientist gathers information about the eruptions of Old Faithful, a geyser in Yellowstone National Park. She uses the data to create a scatter plot. The data shows the length of time between eruptions. This is on the x-axis. It's the input. And how long the eruption lasts, duration, which is on the y-axis. It's the output. Describe any clusters you see in the scatter plot. I see a cluster around the 50-minute and 80-minute intervals. Describe any outliers you see in the scatter plot. I see an outlier near 57.3 because it does not fall into either cluster. Reflect. Number 3. Suppose the geyser erupts for 2 2/10 minutes after a 75-minute interval. Would this point lie in one of the clusters, or would it be an outlier? Explain your answer. The point would be a little past 70 and a little above 2, right about here. Well, no, the interval was too long for the first cluster, and the duration was too short for the second cluster. It's not very close to the rest of the data. Let's describe this data. To describe. As intervals increase, duration increases as well. This is a positive association. On the back of our notes, in example 1, Susan asked 20 people if they would buy a new product she developed at each of several prices. The scatter plot shows how many of the 20 said yes at a given price. Describe the association between price and the number of buyers. As price increases, the number of buyers decrease. So there is a negative association because the data points do not lie along a line. The association is nonlinear. Let's describe this. Just kidding. What would happen if she raised the price to $14? Well, at $14, we would have very few buyers. Number 6, your turn. The plot shows the reading level and height for 16 students in a district. Describe the association and give a possible reason for it. As reading level increases, height increases as well. Therefore, a positive association. Maybe the taller a student is, the older they are, so that their reading level is higher. Could be one possible explanation. This is basically a linear association. There are computer keystrokes, calculator keystrokes that you can use to predict a trend line. So let's go ahead and do that. We would push Stat 1, Edit. List 1 is the X values. List 2 is the Y. Then to see our scatter plot, we would push second, Y equals the number 1, then on. We choose the first style. We put L1, L2, and then we go zoom 9. And then we can see our scatter plot. Thanks for listening. Good luck.